Hello, welcome everybody. You can see we're back in our studio corner, and it's episode 60, the big 60 for benching and bullshitting. And this is the first time, and it's the first time of the new year. So, anyway, we're going to do these lives on YouTube only, just because there's no revenue with Instagram. We're just going to try and push people over to YouTube, and I feel like that's going to be better. It's going to be our thing for the new year, among other things, to try to get YouTube bigger and better for us. I am using a different camera and a microphone as well. So if you are listening to this and it is not going very well, please tell me, and I will work on that. Anyhow, so what we're going to do is just talk about 2023 and go from there. I had a spectacular year. Actually, the last 3 years for me have been just really, really good. I know 2020 is like a year nobody wants to fucking talk about, myself included, but it was a good year for me. I don't want to go back too far, but I got out of the Marine Corps in 2020. I benched 1,000 pounds for the first time in 2020. There was a lot of good, and not just me. I mean, Katie as well. So 21 was the year of records for me. I was still doing single ply at the time. Please, if you are joining me, let me know if my mic is working. If not, I can disconnect it and just use the computer mic. Okay. So I appreciate that. 21 was the year of me just kind of going for the records. I was still doing single ply at the time. Went from 1,050 to 1080 to 1120, all single ply. Mike sounds great. Thanks, guys. Tony, thanks you all for hopping on. And so cool. Yeah, 21 was great. 22, that was an interesting year. 22 was the year I broke records, yes, but it was more like good. It was more the year of winning money. There was a shitload of money opportunities for us with competitions. And walked away with quite a bit of prize money from these meets. Baddest Bencher 2 was a raging success. We had the bench bash for cash, the WPO bench bash for cash. That was fucking wild. That was in Boca Raton, Florida. That was my second time in Florida. And then I won a grand just from breaking the all-time world record in an IPA meet. And that was the last meet where they were handing out a grand for all-time world records. And now you have to go to a specific, like their nationals in order to and break an all-time world record in the open division. So that was the last time, that was the last month they allowed, like you can break any all-time world record at any IPA meet and you automatically get $1,000. That's like the only federation that does that too. It says something. And then I went up to Erie to the IPA meet that Rob hosted, and there's a little bit of prize money there as well. But the Baddest Bencher was the big one. So 23, we'll talk about 23 since it just ended. And it went really well. We traveled to 9 different states in the year of 2023. For us, that's a lot. Nevada, I can't even name them all. Let's see. Nevada, Texas, New Jersey, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and I'm missing one. Which one is it? There's a 9th one in there somewhere. But anyway, so we did a lot of traveling. There was no money opportunities whatsoever this year. So this year it kind of was back to like just the year of kind of like going for the records and stuff like that. So but 23 was great. It's over. I did a video which will be on YouTube. If you're just joining me here, we're not going live on Instagram anymore. We're just going to do YouTube. So I'm trying to push everybody over to YouTube. We just feel like that's going to be more like long-term revenue speaking, because there's no money on Instagram anymore. So we're just trying to push people to YouTube, and I want to try and grow that, be more consistent for everybody, because I got a lot of really big supporters that come through YouTube and also Patreon. So but I made a video that will be up on YouTube here in a couple of days. I just posted the second video of the pursuit of the 1,500-pound bench yesterday, I believe it was, yesterday in the morning. So that is meant to be a series where I kind of document the steps it's going to be taking me up to the 1,500-pound bench. And I just uploaded the second video, just kind of highlighting the last few weeks. Getting sick and traveling a lot really fucked me up. So anyhow, what we're doing here, so this video is talking about my favorite lifts. So this is kind of like a previewing, not a viewing per se, but me talking about it. It's my favorite lifts of 2023. So or events, lifts or events. So we're going back all the way to January, and so we got January here. January was Table Talk with Dave Tate. That was an experience and one that I wish I could do again. I hope that I could eventually get an invite back, hanging out with Dave, hanging out with the Elite FTS guys. And of course it's in Ohio, and I love Ohio to death. That's where we're from. So talking with Dave Tate on the Table Talk podcast was fucking amazing. That was the highlight for January. Moving right along, February. Oh, that was a great month. That was one of my favorite trips of the year. Was February, going to West Virginia, competing at Chris Jividen's Hillbilly Havoc, the first meet Chris Jividen has ever ran. And it was a raging success. And you know what Chris Jividen would do? When he was, because he's the state chair for West Virginia and he was the meet director, he would do gear inspections, even for the unlimited guys, including me, after I benched 1350. That was the first 600 kilogram lift in powerlifting history. That was the highlight for February. That was a fun fucking meet, dude. I love that time of the year as well, especially when there's like no snow on the ground. But we traveled to West Virginia. It's a very, very pretty state. We were in Hurricane. I think it's pronounced Hurricane. It might be Hurricane. I don't know. Somebody from West Virginia could correct me. But we were in Hurricane for the meet. We were staying at an Airbnb, graciously given to us by Jividen. Me and Brian, Taylor, Cam, Ed, and Katie all stayed there. Zach, my buddy Zach, drove up. What a guy. He drove up the morning of. This is a 6.5 hour drive. So Zach drove up to this meet, helped hand off to me, and then drove home. That's crazy. But that was the highlight. That was 1350. I broke my own record by 30 pounds, 30-pound PR. That didn't happen very often. I was very happy with that. On a third attempt, go fucking figure, I made some very unwise decisions. First attempt, second attempt. We had a little bit of a situation too with the this is a Dynabody bench. As you can see, there's a cross beam. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a cross beam, kind of like a Forza, that goes underneath the pad. And that cross beam is right up against your handoff guy's shins. And that was causing some handoff issues because Brian couldn't get out over top of me. So that was, but we got a 1350. And we went back to the Airbnb, and I drank a little bit. I got a little hammered. Not hammered. That was a wrong way to say it. I got a little tipsy. Well, it doesn't take much. I don't drink very often. Then we drove home the next day. It was just a good time. I loved that trip. Good meet, well ran meet. Chris Jividen runs a tight ship, and I got that lift. So I'm very happy with that. Before we move on, Thomas says, "Late Happy New Year, Jim. Happy New Year back to you. To both of you and your wife, and Walter too, of course, and the cats. Yes, we have two of them. Hope you guys had a blast. We don't really celebrate the holidays as much as we used to because we just don't. Nothing changes for us. We go to the gym, we go home. It's just normal. Stay injury free, happy and healthy foremost. Thank you. Back at you. Thank you very much. Purgatory Strength says, I'm having trouble hitting a one board or touching a multiply shirt. Keeps rolling my shoulders forward, struggling to touch. Any advice? Yes, you need patience. And I tell people that, and it kind of confuses them or kind of irritates them. They're like, what the fuck does that mean? Okay, you need patience. So what I mean by that is you're bringing the bar down, and you said multiply. I'm assuming you're benching in a poly, or I don't know if you mean multiply band shirt. Either way, same principle applies. When you're bringing the weight down in the groove, okay, that path, the bar has to come down. You have to touch in the right spot. So my belly's down here. So for reference, I'm just going to use my chest. Okay, so if I have... This is my touch point, this green A right here on the deadlift guy. Because I'm bringing the bar down. And it gets tight down there. The shirt starts locking up. A lot of times what people will do, instead of trying to touch here, they will get impatient. They feel that pressure. They're running out of oxygen. They'll start moving the bar down this way. Okay, down here to what I call panic touch in order to make the weight touch. And then it's out of line. Your shoulders are forward. So what you have to do is learn to stay patient, Keep that bar in the groove. It has to touch here. It can't touch here. It can't touch here. It definitely can't touch down here. You have to stay in the line, let the weight come down, give the weight to the material. If you think about if you're resisting against the weight like a raw bench, when you raw bench, you have to kind of resist against the weight. If you and the shirt are doing that together, the weight's never going to come down. You have to back off. I'm not telling you to like get loose, but I'm saying like you have to stop resisting against the weight, give the weight of the bar to the material, let it do its job and stretch and deform. Keep the bar in the right spot, right spot, right spot. It's going to suck. It's going to take a while. Right spot, boom, it touched, and then boom, you and the shirt bring the weight back home. It's tricky. It's a skill. It's very tough. It's very tough to do. If you are on Instagram or something like that, feel free. You can send me videos. If you want me to look at something, just DM me. My DMs are always open. So back to year recap. We just went through January, February. January was Dave Tate's Elite FTS podcast. That was fucking awesome. February was benching 1350, the first 600 kilogram lift ever done in powerlifting history, which was a great trip. March, always March, is the Arnold Classic. The Arnold Classic is what we do in March. This is Element. That's why it looks cloudy. Oh, salty. Anyway, March was the Arnold, and I competed at the Arnold for the first time this year since 2015. 8 years since I've competed at the Arnold. I did the last man standing this year, which was really fun. I got talked into it. Keith Odell, Rich Putnam said it's a great meet. It's fun. Just do it. Try it. Had a blast. Won it with a 1,000-pound bench. That's what it took to win it. 6 attempts, not 3. I did 6 attempts. 758, 859, 950, 1,000. And the Arnold itself is just such a fucking fun time hanging out with the Anderson booth, Kevin Pittman, and all the Anderson athletes, just interacting with people. I always have very, very, very in-person, very positive interactions, which I really appreciate. People are awesome in person. It's when you get onto the internet and shit, that's where it starts to get foul. No, I had a great time. Walked away with an Arnold belt. I actually gave my Arnold belt to Kevin Pittman to take home back to the office because he's done so much for us, obviously so much for me, so much for the industry and for the community of powerlifting. And I was like, you deserve this belt. I can't be here without you. I've been an Anderson athlete for 13 years. So this is yours. We did this, so there's more to it than that, but obviously the big part of it. So the last man standing, Arnold Classic, always a blast. Came home sicker than a dog, of course. So the rest of March, I didn't do fucking anything. I wasn't until April. The highlight for April was now a lot of this is going to be training until we get to July. So it'll go a little bit quicker. But in April, I hit a full range 5x5, 5 sets of 5 with 1,100 pounds. And to this day, that's one of my personal favorite things I've ever done. Like in terms of like, how do I want to say it? To me, that's one of the heaviest, most impressive things for me personally that I've done. Most challenging things I was able to overcome a 5x5 full range with 1,100 fucking pounds. That sucked. Whoa. So that was April. Again, training from this point forward because there was no competing until July. So a 5x5. Now May, this is another like benchmark thing for me in terms of like training and whatever. In May, I took my old record, my 1320. I benched 1320 in February of 22, my first meet ever in a band shirt. I took 1320. If you can't see because of the reflection, I apologize, but it will be on YouTube here in a day or two. There it is. It focused. I took 1320. I hit 5 reps with it to a 1 board. And that was special to me, taking my previous 1 rep max in a competition from a year prior and hitting it for 5. So that was great. That was May. And this is the thing I tell people when I benched 1,400 in July, which we'll get to, but I was at the end of my rope with training. It was so goddamn hard to keep going. And if I had competed in, say, May or June, around this time, I could have benched 1450. I was so damn strong, and everything felt like it was intact. My forearms and just everything felt great. And then I committed to this meet months prior, and I trained and trained and trained and trained, and started to hurt worse and worse and worse. And then I somehow squeaked out that 1400. If it was 1402, I actually benched 1401. If I benched one more pound, I wouldn't have got it. That's how heavy, that's how fucking hard it was. So that was the highlight for May, my birthday month as well. Mike Rodriguez, hey, Jimmy's still using your program and still making gains. Fantastic. I'm glad to hear that. You can reach out if you want to ask me questions, but I'm glad you're here. Let's see what we got. As we never touch without a board, how do we guesstimate our max for the meet? My best to a half board is 200 kilos. The half board for me is the gauge. That's the gauge tool when it comes to doing a full range max at a meet. Now, if you need it for up here, go off program and take something full range. I give these, I make these programs, design them to be full custom, but you can do whatever you want. This is kind of a skeletal structure of how I think you should do things. But if you need it for your brain, your cranial cavity, you need to take something full range. By all means, do it. But for me, the half board was always a really good gauge for my full range max. Thomas, we got Mike about this program. Are you a raw equipped or mostly with a piece, F8 Widowmaker, Supercharged RAM, etc.? Genuine question. Okay, you two are talking. Purgatory Strength says, appreciate the help. I'll be down to lift with you on the 20th. Oh, okay. Yeah, oh shit. You were talking, we were on Instagram, I believe, talking. So okay, now I've made the connection. Cool, yeah. See you in a couple of weeks then. We've got our guest coming down. He'll be in on the 19th. He'll be benching with us on the 20th. Yes, good. Awesome. Bring all your equipment. Be happy to lift with you, bench with you. It'll be a fun day. And Nymphin, best way to increase bench without equipment. Lift heavy, eat a lot of food, and enjoy what you're doing. That sounds so stupid and simple, but just there's so many ways to train. There's so many training methods and programs to follow, and I just found it best just to make gains where you can, eat a fuckload of food, high dense calorie diet, tons of sodium, which I'm drinking right now. Work on your tricep strength, your upper back strength, and don't be afraid to do volume. Volume is key. Josh Tipple, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. I'm having a good time. We're not doing Instagram Live anymore. We're just doing YouTube. So happy you all are here. Thank you all for joining me. If you didn't hit the like button yet, if you could do that for me, just smash the like button. That helps me out a lot. Actually, it lets me know that you guys want me to keep doing this. So if you don't mind doing that, that'd be awesome. 1320 for 5 was my highlight for May. As we move along, we're in June now. June was just another training month. And at this point in June, I was still doing good physically. I was still feeling really good. Nothing was really hurting too bad because I hit another PR, which on a Wednesday of all days, because our secondary day is Wednesday and our big shirted days is on Saturday mornings, which is where we're going to have our guests coming in here, flying in actually. But on Wednesday, for some reason, I just decided to go ahead and shirt up. I don't know why. I put a less aggressive piece on, I think my single ply or something like that, or single ply in a loop. And I benched 1,000 pounds for 11 reps, full range of motion. Previous best was 10, so I got 11, which was a PR. But yeah, that came out of nowhere. It was just like a Wednesday, a random, felt good, had a decent crew that day. I was like, yeah, I'll try it. I did it. So that was June. Obviously, July was the month we benched 1,400 in the IPA meet in Tennessee, ran by Matt Brooks, hosted by I hope I don't sound like an asshole. I can't remember his name now. Shit. If Matt Brooks was here, he could help me out. Kyle Chapman. There we go. See, I'm not an asshole. I remembered. Yes, that was great. We went to Kyle Chapman's 15 or 25, I think it was 25,000 square foot gym, just gigantic, one giant room gym this was, with a huge fucking like football field turf right in the middle, and there was weights that went all the way around the perimeter, separated by a fence. that was just awesome. And yeah, Tennessee was a great trip. Not a lot of places to stay in Tennessee, in this particular area of Tennessee that we competed in. The hotel choices were, kind of, kind of, not the best, but we were able to stay there. And Dean, Owen, and Judy made the trip, and then Uncle Nick was one of the judges as well as my center handoff guy, and we managed 1400. Took 3 attempts, just like 1350 did. I wanted to hit it on my opener and just go home, but it didn't happen that way. So I'm glad I got that. That was great. Now, between August and November, I took a break from competing altogether. I still trained, didn't hit any PRs, just training, having fun, taking it easy, letting my forearm get back into good shape, which is always going to be a problem area for me. It's just how it is. Now, we traveled a lot. We traveled a fuckload. Like I said, we went to 9 different states this year. I went to North Carolina to help Doug Smithy run a meet, but also we set up a booth for us. Judge there. I was one of the judges. Oh boy, I can't even. We went to Vegas to work with Anderson Powerlifting at the booth at the Wabdo Worlds. Cripes. We went home after we benched 1400 just for like a mini vacation, like just go home and relax, like celebratory, like, oh, bench 14. And then December, my highlight for December was benching that 1,000 pounds for 20 reps to the 2 board. Now it's a 2 board, and in every description I always say it's lockout training. It's a 2 board. It's for lockout purposes. People are like, this isn't a real bench. I'm like, it's a 2 board. It is for lockout training. I call it's a 2 board press, or how I say it's a 2 board extension. Anyhow, so that was the year, and is it the first? Is it still Monday? It is the first. So it is a new year. And I want to know what you guys have in plan for the new year. Pretty much right now, I'm just training. We got the Arnold coming up. That's my next meets, plural, 2 meets. Saturday and Sunday at the Arnold Classic. I will be benching twice. Hope to see everybody there. Hope to see a lot of you there. I'd like to meet you in person. I'm doing 2 meets back to back. The Anderson Bench Press Invitational on Saturday and the Last Man Standing on Sunday. It's going to be a great time. What we got here? Tony says, the fact that my shoulders are still solid after them being shit is the highlight of the last year and so far this year too. Good. You're one day deep. You got a whole another year to make sure your shoulders stay intact here. Yeah, Tony says, in Tennessee, don't stay in hotels that charge by the hour. Oh, boy. I'm sorry. Hotels charge by the hour? This is such a weird concept for me as a European. I'm dying. Did I say that? No, I don't. I hope I didn't allude to that. I didn't charge by the hour. Did I say that? Oh, I couldn't have said. There's no way I said that. There's no way I said that. Did I say that? I was just saying, like, I think what I thought I said was just like the hotels in the area we were in were just like, oh, okay. I thought, wait. So, okay, now I'm on the same page as y'all. So, Tony, there are hotels that charge by the hour? I thought I said that, and then you two were talking about it. So Tony is saying that's a strange concept for me as well. That's weird. The one we were in was it was 10 minutes from the gym. It was so close, so convenient. But boy, oh boy, I would not stay there twice. And Tony says, yeah. I've never heard of such a thing. That is crazy to me. That is nuts. Sorry about that. That's kind of awful. Yeah, anyway, so I can't even remember. It was absolutely just reeked. It smelled like an ashtray. The staff was interesting at best. That's the way I would word it. The area didn't even have places to eat. We had to go all the way to what's the big area in Tennessee called? Johnson City? Yeah, Johnsonville, Johnson City. I'm fucking stupid right now. We had to drive to Johnson City, which was about 20-30 minutes, not bad, in order to like eat and do stuff and whatever. But it was cool. It was all right. We actually went to see a movie that night too. Friday night before my meet, we went to Johnson City and we watched Insidious: The Red Door. Yeah, that movie was fucking horrible. 10/10, do not recommend watching that. If you haven't seen it already, just skip it. You're not missing a fucking thing. So we went and saw that movie, got out at like 11 o'clock at night, got back to the hotel, 11:30, quarter to midnight, woke up, bench only. I can show up to a meet late, But it was a bench and deadlift, so I guess I had to be on time. Tony says, laugh my ass off. You didn't say that, but some of the hotels are shady. I have never heard of a hotel that charges by the fucking hour. That is insane to me. So, I'll be motherfucked. Anyhow, so before I go any further, I just want to talk about a few things that I really believe in. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I just want to talk about them. I talk about them a lot. The very first one is obviously the one that I'm drinking right now, which is the Element packets. These things have changed. Focus, damn you. There it is. There it is. Element. Drinkelement.com. LMNT. 3 ingredients: sodium, potassium, and magnesium. One packet has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, and that has changed my freaking life. I drink sodium every day. This is mixed up a little bit. I usually have my canteen, but my canteen is MIA at the moment. So yeah, Element, drinkelement.com. I don't even have promo codes for you guys. Like, I'm not sponsored. I just like these guys. I believe what they stand for. We've been told for so long by some very, very trustworthy people in DC and other similar areas that sodium is bad for you. Salt is bad. Well, ironically, salt goes on a lot of things that are actually bad, such as like fast food. It's horrible for you. So salt has taken the hit on being the thing that's very, very bad for you, and actually it's not. Do your own independent research, but in my opinion, and from what I have read and what these guys have done, their research, sodium is fucking excellent, especially for the strength athletes. I love this shit. I drink this shit every fucking day. I don't drink shit. Don't take that the wrong way. No, but I drink these every day. 2 to 3 packets per day, 2 to 3,000 milligrams of sodium per day. Thomas says, have you ever had, like, when you are going for doubles, hang on. Have you ever had, like, when you are going for doubles, the first rep feels so heavy, you're like, fuck, this is too heavy to hit 2 now. And the second, maybe third attempt, you hit it for 2s. Because that happens to me as long as I can remember, no clue why. Yeah, usually, still to this day, I'll never be able to understand why or give you an explanation, but my first rep of almost everything feels like garbage. I don't understand why. I have no explanation, but I do experience the same thing. Just to answer your question, yes, I will. I don't know why. I don't have an answer. But yeah, I was actually. It doesn't happen every single time I lift or compete or do reps or whatever. For example, this weekend, which I'll talk about this workout here in a minute, but my top set was one of those rare instances where the first rep felt so amazing, which is kind of rare, that I was very. I'll get to the workout in a minute, but different situation. Next product, of course, is what I talk about all the time. Is the Marucci baseball bat spray, baseball hitter's grip spray. I use this on my back when I bench. I will never compete or train without this shit. I should probably invest in this company because I use this stuff so often. It's pine tar with it's probably not really healthy to get on my skin like I do, but I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I will never not bench with this stuff. I carry about 4 cans of this with me everywhere I go. Marucci. You pick it up at Dick's Sporting Goods. They also sell it on Amazon. The last one that I have within arm's length here, again, not sponsored. I have no promo codes. I have nothing for you besides I believe in this stuff. So we got the Element packets, sodium. We've got Marucci baseball bat spray for my back. And I also heavily utilize Boost Oxygen. I use this stuff a lot. This is the medium size peppermint. I can't even say flavor, more or less. They call it aroma, I guess. So yeah, this is great. It's not a placebo, more or less. So what I'll say is, after a really grueling, difficult set, and I'm like gasping for air, I'll huff this stuff about 4 or 5 breaths, because you can take too much of oxygen. You can get oxygen poisoning, so don't go overboard. But I'll take 4 or 5 hits of this, then I'll just breathe normal air for a while. And what I've noticed is that my recovery time is slightly faster. Slightly faster. It's not like this big bad thing where you huff this aviator oxygen. It's actually 95% aviator. Yep. Boost oxygen is 95% pure aviators breathing oxygen, ABO. So it's not like you're gonna huff it and then like feel like you can walk through a fucking wall, you know. But I've noticed, and at my level, if I can gain a half or a quarter of a percent somewhere by utilizing something or trying something else, I'm going to do it every day. So yeah, there we go. 3 things I wanted to share with you guys before we move on here. Let's see. Yeah, and Thomas says, no, it doesn't happen all the time. It's mostly just when it gets to high weights, like 93 to 95% basically. Also for my squat, sometimes I even feel like I could do a third set. So 4 attempts total. First one is shit. That's, yeah. Just wondering if I'm weird. The weird duck out of the bunch here. No, I say you're not. I think that's pretty normal what you're experiencing. Absolutely. So the workout this weekend was interesting. So again, I'm prepping for 2 meets at the Arnold Classic, Saturday and Sunday. I know Sunday is at noon, if anybody's wondering. Saturday, I have not gotten confirmation yet because Keith Odell has not gotten confirmation from his people that actually help run the Arnold. So we don't know yet if it's going to be 10 a.m. or noon. We don't know. Me personally, but I would prefer 10. That's more like a traditional meet for me. That's better timing. Plus, the meet will be over, and I can get back to the booth and work and help Anderson out. But I'm prepping for 2 meets at once, and the Anderson invite on Saturday is your 3 attempts combined for a total. Never been done before. Pretty cool. So it'd be very who of everybody to make all 3 attempts to get the best chance at winning the prize. And there's cash involved. There's cash prizes here at the Anderson invite meet at the Arnold. That's the first one. And then the second one is the last man standing, which I did this past year. And I can say last year now because it's the first 2024. And that was fun. Everybody, all the heavyweights are going to start at 750. And the bar goes up 50 pounds every round. So 758, 859. And then the last man standing is the winner. And I went up to 1,000 pounds in order to win that one. So this workout was interesting. So I went from 1,000 pounds to 1,300. So I went 1,000 full range. I was experimenting a little bit. I took 1,100 to a one board. I could have probably taken it full range. I didn't. And then I went 1,200 full range, and then I went to 1,300. Now, what Thomas here is talking about, I wanted to mention, the 1,300 was the first time I had handled that much weight since my meet at the end of July. That's the first time I've handled 1,300 pounds in 5 months. And it was 1,309 for some odd reason, kilo math. And I took it to a 2 board, which I hate doing. I like going 1 board, half board touch in the band shirts. I don't like doing 2 board. I think 2 board kind of loses its value in equipment. So I like 2 board. Sometimes, like for this, first time handling this weight since the meet in 5 months, I'm gonna do it to a 2 board. That's fine. First rep felt like nothing. Like once I got over the pain in my palm, so it's getting kind of raw at this point. Once I kind of got over that and settled with the weight, like, and I had all the weight, I was like, okay, it's not going to crush me. My first rep felt like nothing. I was like, I'm going to do 7 or 8 fucking reps with this motherfucker. Came down for the second rep, boom. I was like, yep, 7 or 8 reps. But when I locked out the second rep, I drifted over the face. And then it started to go more towards the rack. And I realized I couldn't save it. I said, take it. And they took it from me. And I was like, fuck. 1,300 pounds has never felt so damn light. And I don't have the energy right now to go for a second set with it and try to correct what I just fucked up. So I had to take the win, but also the L on the same set and only do 1,309 for 2 reps, not 7 or 8, because it felt like air. Fuck. So that was the workout from this past weekend. If you want to watch what I do in the gym, I do run a Patreon for $10 a month. You can watch every workout that I do 5, 6 days a week from start to finish, every rep of every set that I do in the gym, of every movement, all the behind the scenes work that I do to do these big bench presses, both in training and on competition day. All my work, all my workouts with full commentary over top is available on Patreon for $10 a month. So if you want to subscribe to that, that'd be great. I have over 100 members in there now. I've been doing it for about 4 years, since 2020. So just midway through 2020. So just shy of 4 years. And it's been growing ever since. I also do that for YouTube members, also for $10 a month. If you don't want to have to download Patreon and find me on there, which is Kolbstrong on Patreon, you can also go through YouTube members for the exact same content, the exact same amount, $10. So thank you guys for doing that. I've got a lot of people that are on here that are in there. I've had people in there from day one. I get people in there for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, and they opt out. No big deal. No hard feelings. Thomas says, also, I'll be starting with tracking way more my sodium intake, so I'll let you know how that goes. Might also make your story about sodium more reliable, as you can say I know people who feel the same. Awesome. That's just my experience. In my opinion, I think sodium is fucking fantastic, and I need more of it. And that one of their slogans, their own slogans element, is more salt, not less. Yep. We've been lied to. We've been told for years and decades by certain people that sodium is bad and terrible for you. It's actually one of the most important substances to get into our human bodies. It really is. In fact, I'm going to get some more. Oh, it's salty. Anyhow, so anyway, 2024 for me. Oh boy, I would sure like some money opportunities again. I was speaking to Tiny Meeker a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, and at the beginning of 2023, I just kind of asked him. I was like, hey, because the first baddest bencher in 21 was in March, the second baddest bencher in 22 was in May, and this is January where I was messaging him. I said, hey, buddy, I just need to know how to plan for the year. Need to talk to Kevin. Need to talk to Anderson. Just to kind of plan ahead, when is the baddest bencher 3 going to happen? He goes, oh, it's not going to happen this year. I was like, oh, shit. I'll tell you what, man, I've done that meet twice. And the only thing that could make it better is if I had my crew be able to come with me. But those meets that Mr. Meeker has ran are some of the most fun meets I've ever done in my entire lifting career. In all 15 years of competing, almost 16 now. Baddest bencher absolutely was just such a fucking blast, and I was so crushed that it wasn't happening in 23. So the baddest bencher 3 might happen this year in 2024. Maybe, we're not sure yet. So he's gonna have to work on that. He's working on sponsors, working on money, working on a venue. He wants it to be bigger and better and more prize money. So he's just working on that. So we don't know if it's going to happen or not. But some money meets this year would be nice, because there were 0 money meets in 22. I'm sorry, 23. There was lots in 22. There was none in 23. There was not a single money meet that I was able to go to in 23 at all. So some money meets would be nice this year. Oh, Happy New Year from Pierce 411. Happy to have you on here, bud. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're not doing Instagram anymore. We're doing YouTube only. So I appreciate you all for taking the time to listen to me run my mouth a little bit. I've got about 20 minutes left. I'm going to try to keep these about an hour. I think an hour is enough. If you run past that, I think people just start getting bored, although I'm not really too excited to listen to. But so 2024, I would like some money meets. We're kicking the year off with a money meet. March, Arnold Classic. Anderson Bench Invitational is a money opportunity. Of course, you got to win it to get the money. So I have to go there and perform and do well and win in order to get it. But there's a money opportunity. So March, awesome. Got to bounce, David. Oh, David, thanks for hopping on here, man. I didn't know you were on here. Good to have you on here, bud. Dude, I been busy. I want to call you. I've just been. It's been a couple of days. I apologize. It's my bad. Thomas says, yeah, not going to lie, compared to the other half dozen to dozen meets I've been at or participated in, all the fed that should not be named. USA meets look so much more fun, so much more safe. I think I take pride in what the U.S. has done in powerlifting. I mean, powerlifting is worldwide. Um, but yeah, I'm very fortunate to be here, be where we're at. I love living in the United States. I love living here. I'm so proud to be a U.S. citizen, and I'm very, very proud and fortunate. Just what we've done to the sport, how the sport has grown, the availability, just everything. Social media has its pluses. It also has a lot of negatives, but being able to connect and figure out where meets are, it's been a part of my life for 19 years, competitively for 15. But yeah, lifting weights, powerlifting has been a part of my life for almost 2 decades, more than half my life, and I'm just so fortunate. I was going to say lucky. I don't believe in luck. Fortunate to be where I'm at and doing it where I am. So yeah. Fed that should not be named. Which one could that be? There's a few now on my list. I have a shit list of about 6 or 7 feds, possibly more than that now. Who knows? Randy, what's up, man? Happy New Year to you. Thanks for all the help, all the info. Well, thank you for hopping on and supporting us. Really appreciate that. We're going to be on YouTube only during these lives. I'm not going live on Instagram anymore. It's just going to be YouTube. I am going live on Instagram tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Josh Miller. He wanted to invite me onto his live, so I'll be going live about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with him. I'm going to talk and bullshit for a little while. So if you're interested in that, to have hear us talk, then you can join us there. So anyway, past the Arnold, that's interesting. That's where it gets interesting because I have no fucking clue what's going to happen or what I'm going to do. Like, not a clue. Pierce, if you tried single, reverse, pull downs with bands. Wait a minute. Have you tried single, reverse, pull downs with bands? Oh, palms up. Okay, so single, palms up, pull downs or push downs? Because a pull down would be like reverse pull downs, like for your back, or are you talking about like extensions, like, well, you said single, so it must be one arm. I've done both at one point or another. Bands, I have not. I don't add bands to everything or very many things at all. I don't like bands very much. If someone had a gun to my head and said pick one, I would choose chains every fucking time over bands, because chains are actual real weight. Push downs, okay. No, I've done push downs or extensions, palms up before, but never with bands. No, but it might be something I could try in the future. But yeah, I'm a bigger fan of chains, bands. I just don't have a kind of a. I don't like bands, man. I use them sometimes, but not that often. Thomas says that one Fed is approved for gear only because people paying thousands of dollars for it. Oh, now I know which fucking Fed it is. But it definitely means not more superb gear. Like Anderson isn't Fed approved. Yeah. Small businesses can't really afford to dish out tens of thousands of dollars to get their equipment approved in this one fucking Fed. I wonder which Fed that is. It won't be named. Unless somebody else wants to do it, that's fine with me. But yeah, Anderson literally has, I believe, 3 or 4 employees, and that's it. Not counting the seamster, I think he might be maybe he is the 4th. I don't know. Anderson's a tiny company. It's a tiny company. Now, if you want anything from Anderson Powerlifting for a little bit of a discount, you can use my code Kolbstrong. That's KOLBSTORONG. One word. That's 10% off anything in the store, excluding the bench bar. The F8 Sportcraft bench bar that code will not work for it. But if you need knee wraps, wrist wraps, elbow sleeves, knee sleeves, belts, singlets, chalk, ammonia, bench shirts, squat suits, anything you can think of powerlifting related, go to andersonpowerlifting.com. Use code Kolbstrong, KOLB STRONG for 10% off your order. It's not a commission thing for me. It's just a discount for the customer. Yeah, Anderson Powerlifting is a tiny company. I mean, we all bleed green. Obviously, that's kind of our theme here. We're very, very proud to be a part of Anderson. I've been a part of Anderson for 13 years. So more than half of my career in the sport or just lifting weights, period, has been involved in some way, shape, or form with Anderson Powerlifting. I can't talk enough about them, enough about Ken, the founder, enough about Kevin, the current owner and president, the people that work for under him, Susan. So if you call Anderson Powerlifting, you're probably going to talk to Susan or Kevin. They're both super sweet people. So you can even tell them I sent you their way if you want. We know each other very well. So no shame in there. Thomas says, exactly that fed. Before I was ignorant as fuck, and I assumed because it was Fed approved, it was better and more quality gear too. Man, I was wrong. But I'll never repeat that mistake now. Yeah, just because something's approved doesn't mean that it's like superior. It's just that larger company had the means to pay the thousands and thousands of dollars to get their shit approved, which gives them, more reach. More people can use their shit because it's approved in this one Fed that, doesn't matter in my opinion. Pierce says, Jimmy, any new tricep exercises that you find that will blow up my bench? I mean, I've got a laundry list of tricep exercises. I really do. I did one recently. This one sucked. It was awesome. This is the one instance or one of very, very few where I will use accommodating resistance. Okay. I put it on Patreon. I think it was 2 Saturdays ago. My bench didn't go very well because I cooked on an open skillet my CNS the previous Saturday from doing that 1,000 for 20. That 1,000 for 20 fucked me up in more ways, at least 3 or 4 different ways. My vision, my arms went numb, my hands went numb, vision was blurring. I heard buzzing. It was this weird fucking thing. I saw fireflies. So I fried my CNS thoroughly. Went in that next Saturday and I couldn't do shit because my CNS was on fire still. And so I did heavy triceps instead. And the one tricep move that I did that absolutely was just brutal. We have a standard length easy curl bar. So it's an easy curl bar, but standard length, like 6 or 7 feet long. So I can actually put it on a bench and use it that way, right? So I did extensions with the easy curl bar, but I set the pins up on the bench to where the bar stopped on the pin, like dead stop on the pins, probably about 2 or 3 inches away from my head. So dead stop on the pins and then extend off the pins for reps, heavy reps. I did triples with that, with 100 pounds of hanging chain weight. So straight weight plus 100 pounds of chain weight, an actual like chain weight where every link of the chain was off the floor at the start, not like I've got 100 pounds in chains, but half the chains are on the floor at the beginning. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Every link of that chain was hanging off the floor. So that was brutal. Dead stop extensions on a bench with the easy curl bar and 100 pounds of hanging chains. That sucked. Let's see. Thomas says, big example, if Donnie Thompson's fat pads are 14 inches, approved in the IPA, turns out even... Wait. Big example. Okay. Donnie Thompson fat pads are 14 inches. Turns out even 12 inches is too small, but we approve 10.5-inch pads too. 10.5 inches, huh? That's like that, dude. Okay, but this year we also, all of brands are no longer Fed approved for whatever reason. Because they can't afford it. Maybe finances. But we talked about that a couple of months ago on a live too. Going to be fun this year for meets. I'm so sorry. That sucks. Especially if you're outside the US and that's like your only option. So like if you're in the UK, if you're in I know like I think even Asia, like Japan, all they have is this Fed, and that's all you can. That's your only option. So that sucks. It should not be that way. It should not be. It should just to be on the approved list, in my opinion, it should just be like, okay, it's approved because it's the proper length. It's one piece. It's not two materials mixed. It meets all of our parameters. That's what should get you on the approved list. Not, oh, it's $10,000 to get your shit approved. That's ass. Yeah, the smallest is like 10.5 to 11 inches, up to 12.5 inches, I believe, going from centimeters. Yeah, and some of these feds that use the combo racks, which in my opinion, see, I'm using protective language there. In my opinion, combo racks are the most biggest pieces of junk on the market. I hate combo racks. They're such pieces of shit. They are not meant for big benches. The pads are this thin, they're that wide, they're really close to the ground. I understand the convenience of having one piece of equipment for two different lifts, squat and bench. I fucking get it. We can squat in it and drop a pad. Oh, now we can bench. Quick transition. Whoop-de-doo. But they are such pieces of shit, in my opinion. I hate combo racks, and the pads are just—it's like they're designed to be kind of like a throwback to the way it was, decades ago. It's like that's great, but the sport has changed. The sport has improved. It's modern day. That's why the IPA is ahead of its time right now. It's the only federation, even in the U.S., that approved the 14-inch wide pad. Who would have known? They want to attract the big benchers. They want to attract the big three lift guys. If the community is like, hey, Donnie Thompson, I think studied, and I'm hoping I get this right. I think Donnie Thompson studied the retracted shoulder blade position of some 2.5 or 4.5 thousand people, all different sizes, all different walks of life. And the answer to the call for every single one of these individuals was a 14-inch wide pad, not 16, not 12, like we always used. 14 was the answer for everybody, for all shapes, all weight classes, right? Female, male. And the IPA, if I listened to its competitive base, its members, its meet directors, its state chairs, and we're like, hey, like, why not approve? The barbells are getting stronger and more advanced. The equipment we're wearing is getting more advanced. People are getting stronger, lifting more weight than ever in history. The one thing that's not changing, the catalyst, is the pad we're laying on. It's still these 12-inch, not right on the mark pads. And the IPA said, cool, they're approved. They're not required. It's not mandatory that every bench has them. But if you want to use one, if that's all you have at your gym, or if it's what you want, you can use one. 14-inch pad got approved. And I wanted to, in my competitive lifetime, I wanted to see the 14-inch pad approved. And the IPA did that. So thank you, IPA, Fred Fisher, Mark Chalet, everybody involved. You guys are awesome. Where am I at here? Thomas says, it's even so insane I would be allowed to lift in the IPA, for example, flying out to the USA, doing multiply unlimited, which this Fed does not even offer, and they consider it a doping violation. Yeah, you'll get banned for that. You'll get banned for going to a different, how dare you go to a different federation? I'm going to ban you for a year because how dare you? Even if I would be tested in the IPA as well, it's absolutely insane. It is. It's very insane. I wouldn't be allowed to lift in the IPA. Sorry, typo there. Yeah, I get it. No, I understand. Yeah, that Fed that we're talking about will ban you, will shun you if you lift anywhere else, which is just so sad. Because you look at Blaine Sumner and what he did, single ply in this Fed, and everybody's just like, why not go multiply and use a monolift and tear down the fucking world? Like, what's going on here? He got stuck. He was stuck in that Fed. He can't go anywhere else because he'll lose everything. Because it's just this whole go listen to Blaine Sumner talk about it on his Table Talk podcast with Dave Tate from Elite FTS, and you'll hear a lot about that. So. Anyway, went down some rabbit holes there. 2024 has just began. Tomorrow, Tuesday mornings. Oh, Tuesday mornings are so special. It's the day that me and Chris, my boy Chris, we go in and we train back. It is an upper back day. It's an upper back only day. And we fucking slay. I go in and I have to like sit down and collect myself and just go like, oh, Jesus Christ. Because I know, and if y'all are on Patreon or YouTube members, well, you've seen my back workouts. And I know how bad it's about to suck and how hard if I could recover from it, I could bench every fucking day and be just fine. But training back, like actually training back, like going heavy enough, doing enough different movements, training the back from enough different angles and heavy and intense wears you the fuck out. It should put you the fuck out. I almost like can't walk out of the gym some days because we just obliterate, just hold a hand grenade to our back's heart and just fucking blow it apart every Tuesday morning. So, first workout of the new year will be tomorrow morning. I know I posted a video today for Patreon YouTube members. The YouTube members one is not up yet. It's uploaded, but not to members because they pulled my ads. So once in a while, YouTube just does this thing where I'll go for 3 months, no problem. Then just out of nowhere, they'll start flagging my videos, and I have to like report it, like request review in order to get the monetization. So that's why I haven't uploaded the members video yet. They're still trying to review that. So, but yeah, but that workout was from Sunday, so the last day of 2023, but I uploaded it today. So the first actual workout of 2024 will be a highly motivated, highly intense upper back workout. So as we come to a close here in the last 4 minutes, I'll just do my plugs. If you have a young athlete, if you have a powerlifting athlete, thank you, Pierce. Get that 1,500 pounds. Thanks, bro. Hopefully this year should be the year I go for it. I want it really bad. 2024 will be special. I promise you guys. If you have a young powerlifting athlete between the ages of 13 and 23, again, the teenage and junior division powerlifters, 13 to 23. You have somebody young who needs help, gym dues, new equipment, travel expenditures, whatever. Powerlifting related, they are a competitor. They've done meets that can be proved. They are approved. They are within the age bracket for our Kolbstrong Scholarship fundraiser. Okay, so our foundation, our nonprofit, CO, what is it called? A nonprofit organization. I forget the technical letters and numbers in there, but it's a registered nonprofit. We raise money through donation, through fundraisers, and right now we have 4 spots available. We raised $4,000 this year. We raised $3,000 the first year, $12,000 the second year. We raised 4. We were very busy this year. We didn't have a lot of time to do anything, but through generous donations, through a few different people, we were able to raise $4,000. So again, you have a young athlete who is interested between the ages of 13 to 23. They can apply. Go to www.kolbstrongscholarship.com or kolbstrongscholarship.com, and all they have to do is fill out the application. Go through the steps, and they have the entire month of January from now till the 31st to apply. Okay. And at the end of January, we have a board of people, myself included, Katie, and a few others that will go through all these applications and pick out the ones that we feel collectively need it the most, and we will cut and write $1,000 checks and send them out to these young kids. Okay. So if you're interested in that, you have to be between the ages of 13 and 23, competitive powerlifter. Even if it's one meet, as long as they've done one meet at least, and they need help financially, go apply, kolbstrongscholarship.com, and fill out the application. And we'll be taking applications all month of January. And then we'll pick out our athletes in February. We usually start cutting checks around the end of February, beginning of March. We get kind of busy, but $1,000 checks. Cool. Anyway, we'll go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for about an hour. I got 1 minute left exactly. We'll see if I can cut this thing exactly in an hour. Probably not. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, benching and bullshitting. This has been episode 60. Anderson Powerlifting, again, your powerlifting superstore. If you need anything powerlifting related, you can call, tell them I sent you. You can go to the site, Kolbstrong, Kolbstrong, for 10% off anything in the store except for the F8 Sportcraft bench bar. Little disclaimer there. Patreon, $10 a month. YouTube members, $10 a month if you want to watch what I do in the gym 5 days a week that lead me to these big benches. You all have a fantastic night. Wonderful start to your 2024 year. I'm looking forward to it. I'll catch you next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, everybody. Take care.